Hey guys, on today's video what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the cost of the Nurburgring trip driving from Ireland to the ring. I'll be quick on the numbers right off the bat so people can get that information, and for those who wants to stay and listen a little bit more, I can talk a little bit more about things that I've learned over the years and so on, and costs and whatever. So let's just go straight into the numbers. For two people in the on the STI, it cost us slightly less than 2,000. And here's a quick breakdown. So 770 euros. That was on the ferry alone. That includes a cabin that you can actually that four people can sleep on. Okay, so that's ferry. Hotel. This time I got a very cheap one, and there was actually slightly over 300 for two people to sleep. Okay, so about 5 nights, and it's right next to the ring. Very simple room, no luxury at all, but slightly over 300. And then tolls on the road, around 70 euros, depending on on the detours that you take. And then on top of that, we have fuel. I rounded it up at around 600. That includes everything. So, and keep in mind, we're talking about an STI, which is a horrible car on fuel. And then I put about 250 euros on drinks, food, snacks throughout the days and everything. I mean, you want to eat well. You don't want to be super cheap on food and drinks. You want to have a good time as well. So that's what I rounded up. And that comes up to almost 2,000 euros. Okay. So I'll expand a little bit more on this now that you have an idea of the number. And that was two people. Okay. If you do have more friends, and if you have a car like mine, technically speaking, you can fit 5 people. Some costs obviously will come down and it's going to be a lot cheaper. So I made a calculation. Once you split everything, which was my case with my friend, you're paying only 385 for the ferry, 151 for the hotel, tolls you're paying about 35, fuel only 300. And then for food, snack, the price stays the same, but that brings your cost down to 1,120. Okay, so if you're coming with a friend, it's 1,120. That's the cost for the trip. If you're coming with more friends, I mean, the more the merrier. I'll be honest with you. If you have some good friends that are willing to come with you in the same car, then I don't know if you trust them to drive your car, and if your car is well maintained enough, you might as well share the love, right? If you trust them to drive your car, and you know they have experience at the track, so price is going to come down even more. So a sub 1,000 trip is possible, depending on the car as well. Now, things to think about: the cabin. You may spend more, because when I went, that was in October. If you go in July or August, that could be a lot more expensive. That's why I normally go either in May or around October. I've gone in November before. Um, it works better for me financially, and from a track day experience. The peak of the summer is too many cars. Even this time, I guess it's because of the pandemic, there were too many people at the track. And it kind of ruins the experience. I mean, basically all my laps, there was a yellow flag this time, but still, I had a lot of fun. Um, in regards of fuel, I mean, there's only so much you can control on how much you can save and so on. So I think just keep in mind, it's probably going to spend between 500 to 750, depending on the car that you have or how heavy footed you are. So yeah. Food, I probably mentioned this already. I mean, you want to enjoy yourself, have good food, good drinks, good time with your friends. So I'd say if you say 250 for a week, that's pretty much more than enough for you to eat well and have a good time. Um, Want to share those numbers just for you to have an idea, because I know every time I mention it to somebody, then they normally ask, how much does it normally cost you to go there, and so on. So now you guys have an idea. Um, but besides that, I just wanted to make a final comment here. One thing you need to take into consideration is you want your car should be on top-notch condition when you go there, okay? I didn't include everything here because I normally cover that separately. Maintenance costs with my car. So I normally spend a good amount of money on preventive maintenance and so on. So I never want to go there worrying that my car may break down, and neither should you. So make sure when you go there, your car is fully serviced. Your belts have been checked. You know that it's not risky. Tires, you have good tires, good brake discs and pads. I made a mistake this time, and well, it was more of it was not fully a mistake because I was expecting to take the Corvette, but then due to certain issues that I came across maintenance wise, I couldn't take it, so I ended up taking the Subaru. But you want to make sure your car is in on top-notch condition. So if you combine into this trip, then yes, you're going to spend a lot more because you want to have all those things addressed before you go. It's not worth it. It's not worth going there if your car is in an iffy condition. Okay, just don't do it. It's not worth it for you to go there and like, oh, should I go on a lap or not? Just make sure your car is in a great condition before you go into this type of a trip. If you can manage that, then yes, do it. If you can even bring spare pads, amazing, do that. I did between 8 to 12 laps and I didn't need any additional pads. Went on a top speed run on the Autobahn, the fastest I've ever been on a car. Everything worked really well. And this is another thing why I loved my car. I've been maintaining it, treating it well, and it's treating me well back. So yeah, do that, and you will have a lot of fun. Hopefully this video helps clarify that. And if you have any questions about what else should you do to prepare for this trip, let me know. But I thought I would answer this because every time I talk about going to the Nurburgring, people normally ask the question, how much does it cost and so on. And yeah, if you have any questions, any tips, let me know. I do know some other friends that know a lot more than I do about preparing and going to the Nurburgring, but I could always ask them if there's any additional question that I cannot answer. Thanks, guys.